Hello everyone. Today we are again discussing some of the Scrum Master challenges or interview questions. I don't know what they are, but yeah, there are something to do with your Agile Scrum related stuff. Okay, give us a little bit background and then we get started.
Yes, so I have around 14 years of industry experience, and from last 2.5 years, our organization has moved into the safe agile method of
Mm-hmm.
working.
Mm-hmm.
And the team was previously following the waterfall model, and there were quite senior people in the team. So I have experienced the transition of a waterfall model to a agile method, and
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the problems and the conflicts within the team members, making them understand to
Mm-hmm.
work in the agile environment. So, I mean, for the last 1 year, there have been lots of changes in the team, but I really look forward for better growth. And that is why I wanted few clarifications on what should be the correct answers for a few questions which I've encountered in recently.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get started. Yeah, go ahead.
So the first question, what I was thinking was, what is a career progression for a Scrum Master, which I found in your old videos as well. Going for Agile Coach, and we can even look for Product Owner if I'm more interested towards the product side, or I can, do something on the organization level, teaching other
Yeah,
teams,
yeah.
managing kind of an ART. I would say for a Scrum Master, not directly, but becoming a solution train engineer or a release train engineer is also one of career progression only, because
Okay.
managing so many teams together would be really challenging, and it's one thing that you learn after trying to manage one team.
Perfect.
So
So what I see here is if someone asks you, what is your future roadmap, especially in the interview setup, what is the next after Scrum Master job? There are two ways to look at this problem. One way is that you are sitting and you are thinking, what should I do next? That's a one way. And the another way is that since this question has been asked in the interview, what will be the progression for you or where do you see after 2 years or something like that? What kind of a role you are aspiring after Scrum Master? So first you need to differentiate these two questions. Now let's focus on that you are getting this question in the interview, yeah, and people are
right.
asking. Then we need to understand why this guy is asking this question. What probably he may want to know or she may want to know by asking this question. I'm sure they may not be interested in your life. They may be trying to find out something which helps them in making the appropriate decision. Yeah. So it is
Right.
something that they want to decide, is this guy is fit for us or not fit for us? Yeah. And
Mhm.
the answer you give, if that matches with their scheme of work, their organizational pattern, then they find it more comfortable. If that is not matching with their scheme of work, they may find it, okay, this is something, may not be a stable person to join in because her aspiration and our paths are not matching. Yeah. So there is a possibility
Okay.
of that interpretation also. So my guess is play safe. Don't do too many forecasts. Yeah. And if you have studied the organization well, if you know, for example, they are also using scaled agile, you are also coming from scaled agile, then you can fairly say that, yeah, I am right now working as Scrum Master to a one team. I do like delivery and impediment resolving. I really like servant leadership and accountability role. And I do feel passionate about solving problems and delivering something at the end. And that's why I want to get into a more delivery role and probably towards the release train engineer. If you see that, yeah, and that should match with your aspiration also. You should really enjoy doing delivery related
Yeah.
job. Yeah, that's a one thing. Now, if you see those things are not there, the Scrum Master thing is only there in the organization, then you may say, yeah, I enjoy doing Scrum Master job. I think there is a lot of thing to contribute at a Scrum Master level as well. And as I become comfortable, my teams becomes comfortable, I start contributing at an organizational level, agile practices development, some kind of a community of practice, some kind of a knowledge sharing. So we set up a group who can takes care of the way we work at the organization level. Yeah, rather than not sure, you should put a label called agile coach or something. You can say, I may keep doing what I am doing, but on top of it, I may want to also participate actively in the organizational level practice work, because I believe my team should be matured enough, good enough to take care of their job on their own. I might be doing less amount of coaching and mentoring, over a period of time. So I will have enough time to do some kind of an organization level of work. So this is how possibly you can find the answer, but yeah.
Actually, after this answer I gave, and the next immediate question was, do you think that one Scrum Master, when he's handling 5 to 6 development teams, he's doing his job fairly? Is this a justice towards the team? Because I mean, obviously, one team only requires so much of attention. There's so much of work to be done. And then nowadays, Scrum Masters are handling 5 to 6 teams together, because it's not a single, people in the organization still don't see as a full-time job for managing one
So
team.
what I believe is, first thing is 5 to 6 is a little too much, but yeah, that could be the, if interviewer is saying, then we do agree. Yeah, that's the situation.
Or
It is.
maybe it's trying to test my stress over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So we
Not
go with
sure.
that. We can say, yeah, we
Yeah.
can give it that. Yes, that's a possibility. So I think such kind of a questions, you better consider it on your experience based. You can say, in my experience, what I have observed in my company, as well as some of the companies with the fellow Scrum Master, this is what I have observed. Yeah. So bring some evidences. You can say that I have been working as a Scrum Master for 2 years. This is how we are doing. Yeah. And I have also been interacting with some other Scrum Masters. This is what they have been doing. So you bring a case study. And you can say the nearest which I have seen is one of the case where one Scrum Master was handling 3 Scrum team. So you can say, actually, it's a matter of a label. Do you really want to call that guy Scrum Master, or may call that guy Agile coach or something else? Because good amount of facilitation and other things were done at a team level only. And there was a one person who was playing a good amount of facilitation role. So I am confused. Should I call that guy Scrum Master, or should I call this guy Scrum Master? It depends. Yeah. So bring some kind of thing. I have seen this happening, but they had a team lead. And team lead was doing majority of XX work, which we call it Scrum Master role. And this guy was doing primarily more and more project management to ensure billing and external team coordination and resolving the things which team lead or team level things were not able to resolve. So bring some examples, and you can say, this is what I have seen. And now, where do I see myself? I can say that definitely depends upon the maturity of the team. So we can't hypothetically say a one Scrum Master should handle 1 team, 3 team, 5 team, 10 team. It all depends what is the content of work. Yeah. So I need to see what all is expected, what kind of an assistance is needed by the team, and what kind of those assistance can come from the team itself. Yeah. And if I see good amount of assistance can come from the team itself, then probably, yeah, I may be able to mentor those individuals who are doing those work. And now, whatever label you put to me, that's a little confusing thing, but I can say good amount of facilitation is happening at a team level, and some kind of a problem solving and impediment handling it happening at my level. So that way, I do see there is a probability of doing justice, provided I grow someone to take care of facilitation and other kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. I mean, my answer was something similar. I mean, not similar, but then I said, then if the Scrum Master is handling 5 to 6 teams together, then the team must be very matured. They must be taking care of many things at their level. And this cannot be answered in a yes or no, justice is done or not, because we do not know the exact scenario where the team is. Are they really successful in their sprint goals, in achieving their sprint goals? Because we can just say, okay, you're one Scrum Master, you're managing 4 to 5 teams, and we are not looking at the result point. We are just looking at the assigning point.
Yeah, and that's a perfect point. And the person called Scrum Master is actually doing what? Really, what is his roles and responsibility? Because you may label him Scrum Master, but the person might be doing pure project management work. And so-called Scrum Master jobs are done by the team lead or someone else at a team level. So we need to figure that out. Yeah.
Yes. The next question that I encountered was, what is the one thing that you unlearn in moving from the traditional way to the agile process?
So again, these things looks a little bit like the way a little theoretical, philosophical. Yeah, but what do you want to unlearn and all? There is a possibility the person may just want to initiate the discussion and dig upon it. You use something, and then the person want to dig further deeper on it. That is my guess there. And I do believe that if the person is asking you something to unlearn, then the person may also want to know, why do you want to unlearn this? What is so problem, and may want to say that, okay, looks like this is a weak area which the person wants to improve on. So that's a possibility also. So
Right.
this is something I can like suspect the intentions. So somebody will say,
Yeah.
what is your weakness? So in a way, this is a new English word we are saying, what you want to unlearn. It means what you are doing, something which you stop doing, which you want to stop doing, and that's an unlearning thing you are probably doing on. Now, if I have to really give an answer, and that's the whole thing, so I may talk about that the things keeps changing all the time. So today I may want to learn something, but it might be possible tomorrow only I may want to unlearn that. So it depends upon if I look at today's things. So I focus more on what I want to learn. And I usually don't maintain a list of things which I want to unlearn, because its whole idea is that what I can do about something, rather than I don't know how to do an unlearning part, but yeah, you may become little diplomatic about it. Now, if you use a word like I want to unlearn about command and control, or I want to unlearn about being expert, so there you need to take the case a little bit carefully. So one of the safe answer could be that I may want to unlearn about getting into the action and trying to solve the problem myself. So I want to and it is something, not an unlearning thing, but I'm realizing, rather than I'm already aware, and I'm pretty much able to see that I have an urge of doing it, but I can manage that urge. Gradually I want to get into a stage where the urge of fixing the things stops coming in, and I do believe the wisdom of my team and wisdom of the group to take care of the problem, rather than me jumping into it. So that's a possible thing, I think, which safely one can say. And some kind of this kind of a statement you can find out, but usually they are conversational opening thing, and person may want to get into the deeper section out of it. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, what I answered was in the traditional method, we used to assign tasks, like we have got a prioritized task which needs deployment in next 2-3 weeks or 1 month. Then we see, okay, this person according to me has bandwidth, and we simply assign that. So that assigning part has now been stopped. So that is one thing which everyone has unlearned in the process of transition from waterfall to the agile method, because now
that's
what
a
we do is
history.
in the planning.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's a history. But what you want to unlearn now, it is, if you are talking about now or you are talking about past. This is a nice answer. But if you talk about this as a current, then it is not a good answer. Yeah, because you are saying,
No, it's for current, because now we present that entire thing on the table and ask who would like to work on it.
Yeah, so but you have unlearned, you have already unlearned.
Yeah, that we already unlearned.
Yeah, already unlearned. Then it's good. Then if you have unlearned it, that's already good. But if it is still you are unlearning, then it is not good. Yeah.
I mean, the intention of that question was, the question came quite surprisingly to me. So I was not that well prepared to answer it. So this is what came to my top of my mind.
And again, this is all okay. This is all okay. And I think you have said it in a past tense, which is also safe thing, that if the person is not digging further, then it's a good way to bypass this question that, we have few unlearning, which we have already achieved in last 1 year, which is good. Yeah, which is good. And if the person stress on, what is your current unlearning, then you can say, there are few things which I am observing. I am not doing it, but I see an urge in myself, which I want to get rid of. Yeah. So you don't say that I am doing this right now also for thing which you are saying I want to unlearn. You can say that I see the urge coming in, but I know I need to get rid of that urge at all. Yeah. So try some smart answers there. But again, I don't see these things usually coming in. It all depends upon interviewer styles and all. So yeah, you may got few people who were little just trying to explore your thought process level. But in general, these kind of a generic questions, I don't see in my conversation coming that often. Yeah.
Yeah. And the next question was, if you're involved so much with the team and you are on vacation for a week and the sprint is of 2 weeks, so what is your biggest fear?
So again, the person may want to understand what is happening right now. So you may, if you have taken a 1 week leave recently, you can say, I was on leave and I was not afraid about anything. You can just give an example of it. That will be the best thing to do if you have a recent example. What I am sensing here is the person may want to know how much team is dependent on you. What are the things you hold with yourself? And in your absence, they become confusing. Yeah. So that's the thing that the person wanted to know. Ideally, I should say that there is nothing like that. Yeah. Even if something is dependent on me, that thing can wait, and it might slow down the team, but team can take care of it. Yeah, that's the thing. Now, there are two sides to it. If I say nothing changes, and the person says, then why are you there? Yeah, say something like this.
Right.
If nothing changes, and if you say the team is blocked because of me, then you are saying you are the biggest trouble in the team. Yeah. So these are the two extremes. If you show a dependency on yourself, then you are not growing the team sufficiently. If the team has no dependency on you, then what is the value add you are giving to the team? So these kind of two things you are doing. So you can say that, let me start from my contribution to the team. And my contribution is primarily about solving an impediment problem. And there are so much administrative things. Since it's the team of team thing, I keep my team little isolate, or I say little protected from external dependency management and interferences and status reports and all those things. Since we are working in a safe environment, we need to ensure all teams are aware about each other. And I do a lot of this work to ensure transparency and coordination. So if I am not there, I need to identify or delegate this work to one of the team member, which will slow them down, because they could have done a productive work, but now they are doing my work, and I'm sure they are capable enough to do that work. But the whole idea here is that will keep them away from what they are doing on a regular basis, which may probably bring them, make them slow, because they are doing something which I'm expected to do. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice answer. I was confused because I was like, it's okay. I mean, the team can handle it themselves. It is not that a big problem for a week.
Yeah.
So the velocity of the team would go down, nothing like that exactly. I mean, it will just slow down a bit.
Yeah, slow down a bit. For example, there were some impediment which needs to be followed with your IT team, configuration management team. You are in a complex environment. If you are there, you can do the 10 follow-ups and get the things done, work with the other team, resolve the dependency. Now, team has their own sprint backlogs. They're working on things. They have a dependency. Now, who is going to run after these guys? So you can say, since I am not there, someone has to do it. Now, someone who is running after these guys is missing doing development during that time. Yeah.
Right. The next question was, whose role do you think is more challenging, an agile coach or a scrum master?
I don't know.
I mean, I told like agile coach is one who is mentoring the scrum masters, trying to get into their troubles, what they are facing, because Scrum Master solves the impediments of the teams, and impediments of the Scrum Masters are being solved by the Agile coach.
I know.
I think
this may look little again philosophical and general. And I think if I have to answer, I may make it little funny. Everybody feels that their job is the most challenging one, and since I'm a Scrum Master, I believe my job is the most challenging one. Yeah. So and everybody else is enjoying. Yeah, that's something I can start with, and I say, that's what I used to believe till the time I started appreciating others. So I can say I'm coming. So I try to demystify a little bit and say, don't take this question too seriously, because there is no right and wrong answers about it. And I can say, everybody has their own challenges. It's all about who is looking from which perspective. That is what I believe. When I empathize with the product manager, when I empathize with agile coaches, I see their pain as well. I see what kind of a stakeholder management challenges they are going through. I see what kind of a resistance they face and how difficult it is many times to mentor and coach the Scrum Master. And when I see my work as well, I do see many times how difficult for me is to get rid of cultural issues, get things done, and move the things. It's not only about facilitating team meetings, but getting the procedural change and bureaucratic hurdle removed from the team's path, so that we make the progress. So, but yeah, there are times when things happens easily. There are times when things happens difficult. So in my observation, I can see these are the challenges I have been facing, and I can empathize with the product, my coaches, if you have someone that they are facing these kind of challenges, as much I can and see it. Now, it might be a judgment of saying, so you give a long answer rather than being a short answer. It might be a judgment of someone saying who is more, who is less, because more and less is definitely a matter of perspective, So there is nothing
It's
absolute
relative.
number to it. Yeah. But you go a little descriptive in nature. So you don't offend the guy. I asked such a brilliant question and this lady is not answering it. And you also don't get into the trap of, you believe Scrum Master is more important or Agile coach is more important. I don't know what kind of a preconceived notion the guy might have. And he may wanted to get into the debates of that things only. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, the last question that I received was, I mean, when I say I'm hiring a development guy, I set goals. Okay, these are your goals, and based on which I'll be doing a performance check for you at the, I mean, mid-year or annually. But what do I do for a Scrum Master? How do I check your performance?
You should have
Performance
that. Yeah.
measure for
Scrum
Scrum Master. I
Master.
said,
You should.
my answer was, I mean, I'll just give you a brief of what I answered, and then maybe you can say if it was right or wrong. So I said, my performance measurement would be the involvement of the team maturity, and the final result that the team is producing. So based on that, it will be not a individual thing that I've been achieving. It will be a complete credit which will be given to the team. So then he was like, then it is a team effort. How do I measure your performance? I mean, have you been able to succeed in your Scrum Master role, or I would have been good without a Scrum Master in the team?
Yeah. So
So
this
I
is
was again confused with that.
This is a very tricky question, and this question can be asked to any role. Yeah, anyone who is going for an interview can be asked that how do I hire a right Scrum Master? How do I measure that my Scrum Master is doing a good job? What all the characteristics, competency a Scrum Master should have? So it's like a reverse interview. Yeah, and you are expected to sell yourself. That's the whole idea. Now, whatever KPI you speak, there is a second thing which the person may ask. If you have reached to some KPIs, how well you are adhering to those KPI, how well you were able to do in last 6 months and what all you are doing against those things. That's the thing. So whatever things you come up, you should have a clear plan that, okay, those KPI should be good KPI. Yeah, they should be meeting the expectation. And then I should have a substantiated evidence story to tell that I am doing all this and I'm good in all this. Yeah, so that's the second part of it. Now we probably look into what is a possible KPIs of Scrum Master. So again, the leadership role, be it a Scrum Master, project manager, any leadership role, is primarily to facilitate and make the team achieve the goal. That's definitely the thing. And the second leadership role is creating a path for the team. So you have a coordination, impediment removal, and all those things. So that's a path has been created for the team which you are handling. And the third thing which possibly you can see is growing the team, which is there. So we can say the team end up delivering things. That's a possible contribution. You enable the team so that they deliver. You create a path for them so that they find easy to deliver, means removing the impediment very, very effectively. Third, you build the team, you grow the team members, which makes them more and more capable of doing better things. That's the third parameter. The fourth parameter, you ensure a good amount of stakeholder engagement. So as a Scrum Master, as a leader, you ensure that other teams are very informed about what is happening in your team and how things are moving forward. So you manage good stakeholder work. And the possible fifth thing you can ask is that what you do to bring agility of the organization level up. So probably participating in community of practice events and presenting some papers and presenting some talks and something. So these are the possible 5 things you can start with. Yeah. So now if you go one by one, you can say that yes, team is able to deliver. So there are 2 components in team delivery. One is a individual capability, and second is a coordination amongst the individual in order to deliver the things. So your role is primarily in coordination. You need to ensure that people collaborate with each other so they end up delivering rather than pulling each other's slack. So I need to ensure that I am accountable for ensuring and creating an environment so the team end up delivering things. So how the team environment have been in the past 6 months, what kind of an escalation we have received, what kind of a team dynamics we have been observing from last couple of time, what kind of conflicts are happening, are they healthy or are they unhealthy, and how those things are helping the team in achieving their desired results. So that could be a clear understanding. which can be a Scrum Master or any leader performance assessment for a first part only. So this is how we can go one by one and say that, okay, this is what I have been doing. We had a team initially when their new team got formed, there was a lot of conflict of interest and people wanted to do a type of work. They were not willing to do cross-functional work. With the help of coaching, mentoring, the communication has been established. They have a clarity of what they have to do, how they have to do. They know what is the benefit of supporting it. And that helped them in creating individual accountability and a team accountability. And that's how I feel I have contributed to the team space. So something like this.
Right. I actually got very confused with this. So I was like, no, the team is doing well. So that is my performance measurement as well.
Yeah, so it is. See, it is. The only thing is team can do well because of you created the environment to do well. Yeah, that's the one possibility. And team can do well without you creating the environment for doing the well also. So there are both possibilities. Yeah. So assuming you have a bright guys, they collaborate with each other and they do the things. Yeah. And somebody will say, okay, what are you doing here? And people are anyway doing the things. So idea for us is that we create that collaborative environment which makes things happen. Yeah. And whenever things goes down, whenever the escalation comes, whenever the conflict comes, how fast the team could bounce back. So it's like that, how we improve the collaboration in the team, how what kind of things we have been observing, and there will be down things when things goes wrong, people end up blaming each other, and there are some changes happens, and how soon they can come back to the action and meet things. So that's part is a Scrum Master or a leader's part. So what kind of environment you create so that team can give each other good feedback, they can bounce back fast. That is your part. Yeah. And then you take a team development stage. How are you growing individual member as well as team members? So they improve their skills, they start learning facilitation or whatever the area which they wanted to grow in that particular space. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good.
the last question that was like, you see that this sprint is failing and you tried your best to have retrospective. And if you see nothing is working, then what will you do?
So I will make it clear to everyone that this is happening and this is what I'm feeling. That's the first thing.
To the higher management, yeah.
Higher management as well as the team. Yeah. So first to the team. So as a leader, my role is showing the mirror. That is the first thing I am. So if my team is in a situation, I need to make sure that everybody is in agreement that we are in a mess. That's the whole thing. Yeah. And then we need to find out what do we do next. There could be an exceptional situation where no one knows what to do next. Yeah. Then we know we need to go for help because none of us can solve this problem. Yeah. But in general, that could be an exception. In general, when we have acknowledgement of the mess, we also can find out how can we recover it. What are the possible options? Yeah, what are the possible options and what are the alternative we are giving? There is a possibility those alternatives need to be negotiated with the management. Says the management was looking for that you finishing this sprint with a whole sprint goal. You understand you cannot achieve the sprint goal. Are like all of us together, we looked at it, we figured it out, and we know that we don't have any way to make it possible, but we have few options at hand. Yeah, now this is the situation and all of us have put our best effort to find out that. Then we go to the people and says, this is where we are and this is the best we can think of. Now you suggest what can we do about it? So making this situation visible. See, the negative answer could be that I will do and I will solve the problem or I will escalate to the management and all those things. But that makes an assumption that you are the super expert guy in the team, which may not be hold true in many situations. So it's like, if the team is unable to do a particular engineering design, what will you do about it? Yeah, you don't know anything about it, assuming. Yeah, so how can you solve it? Yeah, yeah. Right. Assuming it's a technical, or you can't solve it. So don't overestimate. Then I will solve it. And even if you go and escalate to someone, it may become just you are complaining against the team without coming up with the option. And what the boss will say, it will say, what do I do with it? What option you are giving to me? So he will or she will ask you, and then you will say, I don't know. Then says, okay, better I talk to your team member. You please get away from the midway. Let me directly talk to the team and let us solve the problem. So if you are not doing that job of working with your team and making the situation understood, someone else will do it. But the problem will not be solved till the time those guys come along and try to find the solution. Your boss will do it or you will do it, but someone has to do it.
Yeah, I mean, one other way is to take help from someone to see if maybe, in the situation we are not able to see what other options can be there, and a neutral person from outside can actually see, okay, can we try this midway out?
Yeah, so this is something, should be in the acceptance of the team. So say it's like this, you have like a parenting problem, you're a kid, your son or daughter is not listening to you, and you call your friend and says, why don't you come and talk to her? Okay, but how effective that would be? So if you are pushing the advice, and then the kid may become more, then okay, aggressive. Talk to me, aggressive. Yeah. So the whole idea here is, if you both decide we need a help, then both of you are going for a help. But if you are telling someone, please help him or her, then you are creating a little messy situation, and those guys may not be in agreement of solving that problem. They may not even appreciate that problem. They'll say, we don't have any problem. I don't know why they called you. Yeah. And the person says, do you have any problem? They say, no, we don't have any problem. Yeah. So that will happen. Yes. I have been to many consulting assignments where I go as a consultant, and management hires me to fix a particular team. I go to the team and says, guys, what's wrong? What is not working here? It takes around 2-3 hours before they even accept anything is not working here. They will say everything is good, everything is good, everything is good. Then I get into detail. Okay, do we have an escalation? Do we have a management problem? What kind of escalation we are facing? And then they say, yeah, this manager is not happy. This manager is not happy. Then the thing starts coming in, but it takes time. And I don't know the external help will have that much time to assist or not. So best thing is go with the team. So you expose the problem, make everybody appreciate it. And then together, if we have to escalate, we go together. Yeah. So it's like that you and your team going together to architect and saying, architect, can you help us? Something like this.
We present together. I mean, it's not just one man's problem, right?
Yeah. Because else it will become an escalation. Yeah. And then it shows that there is already a trust break between you and the team. So it's like there is something that you are saying, these guys are useless. Let me get some help from outside. So there is already a break happening.
Yeah. And the whole thing is based on trust, because we trust the team members that they're picking up the work and doing it on time.
Yeah. And you do it based on making these things transparent. So the whole idea here is you make sure everybody sees the mess. That is your responsibility. So it's like this, that people may feel there is no mess, but you need to make sure that guys know this is the reality. We are not doing it. This is where our burn down is. Now convince me that we are not in a mess. So that is your responsibility. People may want to close their eyes. They say everything is going good, your team members, but you create accountability by creating transparency. And the daily scrum, the information radiators, and everything is a process of creating that transparency so that we know where we stand at a given point in time. And leaders should ensure that that transparency, that feedback should be coming frequently to the team. Yeah, that is your responsibility.
That was a very, very good answer. I think, that is making me more equipped for the next rounds.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Yeah, nice talking to you. And in case you have something follow up, we can schedule something maybe at the later time.
Sure. Thank you so much. I'll keep you updated about the further status.
Perfect. Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.